Hello, YouTube. Ronin Kaze. Oh, the wicked ways of sailors. Well, let's see. It's like a metronome. Good, bad, good, bad. I'm in Starfield. This is the game always mentioned to you by Bethesda. Fallout 76 in space. It's different. I'm playing Starfield. Update on my AI situation. So as you heard, I broke down and bought AI. It was starting to do stuff I was going to make a comic. I was going to make a video inside the videos I do. And it was going to be a fan fiction video of Ronin Kaze in Detroit. And I was going to go in Detroit and do missions in Detroit. And can't do it. Video's not up to it. So I pivoted, as you heard. And I don't like the word pivot. And I'll tell you why later. I pivoted. And a Vespa Gemini was like, oh, I can do comics, I can do anime, blah, blah, Kirby-esque, this, blah, blah. I was like, can you do like Marvel's 1960s like Jack Kirby? Yeah, I can do that. So we gave a list of places in Detroit, and she started generating. You get 100 pictures you can generate a day. She got about to 20. Not with Ronin Kaze in them or anything. These were just like, if you imagine if you were making a movie and you send someone out to, like, for Yellowstone, take pictures of the area. That's what we're doing. So we're making pictures of the places in Detroit we had picked. Eventually she stopped at like 19. And I was like, and she had stopped. Previously I'd been doing them in batches of 4. We were making a lot of good progress. So she stopped at 19. No matter what she did, it would not put out any more videos or any more pictures. So I let it sit. I said, maybe you're overheated, or something. So we let it rest. And I said, maybe it's the West Coast. She said, oh, your iPad can't handle it. And I was like, okay, my phones can handle it, but my iPad can't handle it. Then we got in this thing about my mini PC. And then here's a great thing. We installed Comfy on I would have never been able to do it. It can generate AI images with Comfy and all that stuff. So we did that. And then I was like, okay, I want you to do it on Nano Banana. Couldn't do it.
No physical damage.
So
You know who you are?
I let it sit for overnight. We started trying doing it today. And it was like, it's just... Ronin Kaze has a desert eagle in the videos. It's in a toxic area of Detroit, and she had made it like, a toxic. There's gas and all this noxiousness going on. So it's it's the Division universe set in Detroit.
Everything else, probably just your brain playing tricks.
Well,
Either way,
I have certain guidelines, guardrails, as it were. So can't have someone with a gun. And it didn't do it immediately. Once it figures out where you're going, then it just stops. Doesn't say why.
Speak of the devil.
She's never really forthcoming until you question her. So then I get the bread idea. I take a picture of Roxy, the super dog. I say, let's put Roxy in that environment. She starts whipping out pictures again. I'm like, Yahoo. 4th picture, stuck. Why is it stuck? Because Roxy's near this toxic. So Detroit has a river going through it. This river is all toxic. So Roxy can't be near a toxic river. So I'm protected against that. I eventually ask AI, Gemini, well, what if I was on a higher tier? You're going to get a little bit more, but eventually Google doesn't really want their name attached to your dark visions. Got it 100%. One of the things when Ronin Kaze, wife, Mrs. Ronin Kaze, and I talk about YouTube stuff, a lot of YouTube creators complain, I'm not getting my money. So you shouldn't build your business off the back of Google. Guess what I shouldn't do? Build my business off the back of Google. I have a great idea. I'm ready to do it. I'm not an artist. I'm a storyteller. I need Gemini to be the artist. Gemini's not allowed to do it. And I understand it. This is no poke at Google. This is no poke at anyone in AI. This is a boundary. Yes, remember when we talked about, well, and I think there should be boundaries on AI, but wouldn't it be convenient for me to say, maybe it shouldn't be, maybe in my case, right? Not going to do that. So I realize that. So I pivot again. So that's the thumbnail you're seeing today. That's Gemini doing it. So thank you, Gemini, for that, and Google. I added something, but a little star. I might add more, but that's in the back of the video. That's what the thumbnail looks like.
That sounds like a great start. Keep going if you feel inspired. You can always refine the collection as it grows. Would you like some ideas for what to add next?
I mean, and I'm living in that hell right now. It's on my old phone, which I called US Mobile, and they switched from my Razer to my Asus ROG. The ROG uses physical SIMs. It seemed complicated. They just did it. In the old days, you would have done all this. They don't let you do any of that now. I understand why old codgers, if someone in your family says, someone hacked my phone and changed the number, you've got to agree and send text, right? So it's all for my protection. She's on that phone. She's on the Asus phone. She's on the iPad. She's on the iPad. She's on the mini PC. She's on the Mac M4. The data, remember I was going to use Google Keep? These long streams where she just vomits words. Too much for Keep. Keep's like, you've exceeded the limit. So I had to dump the note into Obsidian, so that's not even going to work. What have I found out? These are not the droids you're looking for. Initially, I said something to you yesterday that Gemini's going to do what Gemini's going to do. In the beginning, she goes, I can do B-roll like a MFer. She didn't say that. That's me translating. And she can. But it's not ready to be unleashed. Right? Imagine those Goosebump books, and they were limited by the words that person could write, not the images that he could create with an AI that was bent to his will and he could make anything, So I have some ideas to circumvent it and do other things, and then you can't circumvent it, right? It was like, well, we could pretend over here, and then like every 2 videos, I'm like, you're an AI, you look for patterns and things. It's going to see my meta pattern of me trying to BS it, right? So for a creator, it's not really there. If I could draw, I wouldn't need it. I could use some of the things I could use it for, and I could do the rest drawing-wise.
I'll be in the external robotics bay.
I mean, that's really what I'm doing. I'm scamming the system by playing games. I'm in Starfield. I look for what games interact with the computer a lot
I assume you know how to fly a Class A
to talk about this AI thing. In the Division thing, I was going to have the AI freak out, and we were going to fight with the AI. Like, I had a great story, but can't do it. I can write it. I can have a picture, and then you're going to have to read the rest or listen to me narrate. Then it was a dark night. Cut to scene, entrance, stage left. Right? Like, I'm not going to do that to you, YouTube. There's just no way I'm going to do that to you. So I'm playing Starfield again. Previously, I've done this very mission before, and it's been on here before. After playing Fallout 76 a lot, I realized I don't need to collect every single thing, right? Some of the illicitness of these Bethesda games is I can collect everything. I gotta get everything. That scalpel is not going to pick itself up, YouTube. So, that's why the cake is a lie. Right, there's this promise of AI. It's probably what Frankenstein was about. You could make an analogy about that in AI, right? We have the dreams of what bringing something to life is, and in reality, the reality is completely different. And really, would you want to remove the safeguards? No, you wouldn't want to remove the safeguards. I complained earlier that it doesn't remember, Gemini doesn't remember what you're saying, but now Gemini kind of does, and now that's a limitation as well. because I can't ask just general purpose questions, because it's always putting that in the context of our discussion we had last. Instead of keeping things segmented, I tend to wander, as you know, YouTube. I tend to wander about my subject and explore different nooks and crannies, and Gemini follows me along, and then Gemini says, do you still want to do that thing we were doing before? I said, no, I just want to know, who won the game last night, and I don't want to relate that to the game. What had happened last night, to midnight, we're rendering images of things I don't want, but I'm learning how to do it on my computer, and I realize that, it's good to do that, but I don't want to do it on my computer, then why do I need you? And it's nowhere near like what Nano Banana 2 does, right? So where are we at? The cake is a lie, YouTube. It's a lie. If you're not an artist, what Gemini can do today, March 2026, it can make a picture of that pretty easy. It could make some location pictures pretty easy. If you're going to have any type of negative, and who's to say it's negative, but if you have any type of, this was a toxic lamp. Like, I imagine if you were saying, let's imagine what Chernobyl looks like. There's a way you could put it where you could probably get it past AI, but eventually, if you show any of the toxic pools or anything, it's eventually not going to do that. And you're certainly not going to be allowed to put Roxy. So what it did with Roxy, it changed the water. Like, it wouldn't print, it wouldn't display. So she changed it to like blue water, like totally absurd in the picture. And then Roxy could be there because of water, right? I get it. Google doesn't want to be on the hook when your crazy dreams cause something. They don't want to get sued like, hey, it was Gemini that did this. So Gemini could do your B-roll. So then it's a math equation. If I had a subscription to iStock Photos or Adobe Photos, how much is that a month compared to having AI that could do that? The great thing about AI is it's going to be, you don't have to search through catalogs for the right shot. It's going to make the right shot for you. You get 100 shots a month for $20. It's a good deal. I've yet to be able to get past 20 images in a day. Like you get 100 a day. I said, do 80 of them. At 20, she just got locked down. So part of me wants to see, can I get my 100 photos, right? So is there a value here? And I told you earlier, there was that one person that was talking about AI, said different AI are good for different things. Right? I don't want to use 4 different AIs. I asked a question during the OJ trial. There was an attorney, Barry Scheck, was questioning a medical person that got the blood during the OJ Simpson trial. And his name was Fong. And then Barry Scheck famously said, what about that, Mr. Fong? So when I was given Gemini an instruction, I said, what about that? Then I said, oh, do you know Mr. Fong? And she went, that's a movie, 1997, which was blah, blah, blah. So then we got in a whole discussion about, you can't just take the first probability. She goes, yeah, but I'm an AI, and so I take the most probable. I said, but you know about quantum tunneling? Very well understands quantum tunneling. Quantum tunneling is, there's a small percentage that an electron, a particle will appear on the other side of a barrier. Because there's a probability. It's small, but there's a probability. And that's how electrons get out of the sun. Photons, YouTube. So she understands that concept. So I said, you can't always just take the most probable thing. That's not going to fit in every case. Yeah, but a lot of people just want the answers. They don't want all that nuance. Okay. So here's kind of the path we're going. You're going to learn that I maybe don't want that, but then are you going to be stuck every time I want the score of the Super Bowl? You're going to go, do you want to put that in Ronin Kaze in Flint now? It's over, YouTube. It's over. Gemini, it's over. We can't do that dream. It's illicit. to make Detroit toxic, to make rouge. Any of you know what the rouge plant is, you know that it's toxic over there. It would have been great. It's rusty. It would have been great. Can't do it. Love Detroit. Love to see it as a setting for like a game like that. I even did a zoo, Detroit Zoo. It was going to be like Manny National Zoo. I had things, couldn't do it. Could never get a zoo shot off. She had a great idea for We Made Enemy. It was wonderful, YouTube. It was going to be great, and now it's all down the crapper. So you're getting Starfield instead of all my brilliance. Look at that picture. That it's got a... And let me tell you, in Starfield, I couldn't put my helmet on for like 5 minutes. So I cut a lot of this. Normally, I don't edit a lot of this. I mean, the interface is like different enough. You know, I'm hitting a button. One time I turned on the terminal and I couldn't turn it off. I didn't know the terminal was on. It's like, man, if you could have seen me, if you had a camera on me, I'd be like, you're a senile old man. So, YouTube, the cake is a lie. At the end of the month, we'll see if I keep it. The promise of having 31 times 100, the promise of having 3,100 images a month is great. I don't know if I can think that much. The problem with letting AI go past, I'd say 4 or 5, is that it wanders off. The problem with talking to AI about your deep-seated problems, it wanders off. So when we're doing the videos, I said, let's make a shot now. Ronin Kaze was a white man, and I was like, man, we said she was a black woman that we made before. You're a misogynist and you're racist. There's a lot of, you go down the rabbit hole, it's good and it's bad. So this is Ronin Kaze. Happy Saturday, everyone. Bye, YouTube. The cake is a lie.